Hey, we're live. I hope you guys can hear us now, man. I don't know what the heck happened, but look, now it's reading. Look, see? It's the exact same setup.
I don't know.
Hey, man, sometimes these things happen, people. You know what we do? We just say F it.
Are we, let's see, is this thing even, is it live? Is it good? Okay, all right, yeah.
Ons wir alive.
The internet is slow.
Oh, my goodness. Look, there's
we have sound. We have sound.
See, that was YouTube. That wasn't me.
Ladies and gentlemen, let the record reflect. It was
For the
not
first
John.
time ever.
All the other times. It
All
has
the other
been
times, John, but he has
But
been
this is not-
exonerated for
But
this
this time, we're going to go ahead and blame the lizard person who is Zuckerberg. We're going to blame it on him. I don't know how, but why not?
He did that.
You don't get to have a forehead and hair like that without being like, you know what? This is a big F you to every dude in the world trying to get laid because I look like this and I'm going to get more poon than all y'all together. Why?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Zuckerberg.
Oh.
But he's married to some Asian chick
Yeah, he's married.
who was like a
I
school
mean, not
teacher or
that
something.
matters, but
Nah, well, screw him. Anyway, all right.
Screw him.
I like him.
For the rest of you who were joining in and didn't hear anything, we had an audio issue, but now that we're back, we're smoking these Casa Cuba Toros. Very nice. It is a modest stick. So right off the bat, what I notice is like certain cigars, like they're shooting for the moon. Other ones are just kind of like, hey, you're going to enjoy me while you're cutting your yard. You know, this is one that I can enjoy
Cut in your yard.
after work. But it's not an ambitious stick. It's not trying to do a lot of crazy nuance with the flavors. So far, it's been consistent. It's been predominantly a little bit of cocoa.
Really cocoa-y. Yep.
It's a little milder than I like, but yeah, I like it.
It's got one. The main note is the cocoa note,
Yeah.
but it's nice. And we're pairing it with this lovely whiskey sour. That
dope whiskey sour, thank
we'll
you.
kind of replay for everybody. It was like
Lindsay, you want to
What
reenact?
is this? It was
a lot of.
lots of
So, this reminds me of a story. Lindsay's cousin, when we were going to Minnesota for holidays,
Yeah.
we were making drinks, and her relatives really like martinis because they're alcoholics. That's like you're
martinis are delicious.
you're a hardcore when you're making martinis at home. So anyway, her cousin is making the martinis, and so she puts
I'm shaking egg white cocktails.
She puts
What do
all
we
the,
do now?
all the ingredients in the shaker, closes it up, and then shakes it. And it isn't until she's done that she realizes I didn't put any ice in it. There was no ice in the shaker. And we were all just like, yeah, you didn't. And she's like, I should have known because there was no shuka.
Chukka 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 sound, and we still use it. to this day.
And
I
we
was
still
like,
do that. It was like, you're like 24 years old, and that's how you talk. But like, no ice. No ice, no shuka.
No sugar.
So no ice. You want shuka, you got to put the ice.
You got to put the ice for the sugar.
Anyway, so we're over here at the merchant, as you can tell, and we're pairing these whiskey sours with this. The drink is lovely. It is it's got some sweetness to it. It's got some tartiness, and then it has a little whiskey on the backside. So it like gives us like this
So
grown
saying
up.
it's aptly named. It's sour,
This is
it's whiskey, it's a whiskey sour. It's amazing.
Yes, this is like one of those guy pedicures where it's like they try to make it fruitful, but they're like, no, but whiskey. It's whiskey. It's for men. It's totally fine.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of
We're
man
rubbing on your legs,
pedicures,
but there's whiskey in it.
why don't we talk about the last time that you got a pedicure and the pedicure said it was like the man pedicure, right? Like,
That's right, man.
And it said it was just like, and it comes with a beer, and Alex is like, sweet, I'm gonna get you to bring a beer, and so they like bring all the stuff over, and there's a beer on the cart, and they crack it, and they're like handing it, and then they dump it in the water. The look on his face, he was just like,
See, I mistakenly thought when it said like, and it comes with the beer, I thought that was for me, not for my feet. It's like, fucking feet. They don't need to drink beer. They don't know anything about beer.
That's a
I'm
little,
here. This is where the beer. But the way they got me, they have their little book of all the offerings,
it has like sports.
and the first 50 of them are all like, we have rose petals tickle your feet, and you watch Sex in the City and whatever,
The man
like,
one
no,
the man one has like football.
And so
tits
finally,
on
there's
it.
one where it was like, hey, you're not gay? You want this one? This is the one you get if you're not gay. I'm like, that's the one I want.
Oh my god!
It was actually pretty nice though. After I got over the loss of my beer, it was pretty good.
Just
So-
you looked like devastated there.
I was just like, that sounded pretty nice.
It was like a Mick Ultra.
So anyway,
Wait, hold on, Lindsay. It was a what?
It was like a Mick Ultra.
So it's basically water.
it was a
on your
Miller
feet.
Lite. All
It
right.
was.
It was Miller Lite.
It was like
Again,
a
again.
Miller Lite pony.
It's a pony.
It was. It was like
It's for
10X.
your toenails.
Whatever.
It brightens your toenails.
But anyway, I am wearing my Dustin Poirier shirt because he's fighting on Saturday. And we're very, very excited about that. John is trying to weigh his options on how to be homeless for 2 nights in Vegas.
It's okay.
He's like,
You can literally wander the. I can stay out for 2 days. I've done it many times.
I just
I'm
want
just going to be some other dude with a beard walking the street.
Exactly. What are they gonna do?
Like that homeless guy's got a very well manicured. Oh, you can tell he hasn't eaten in a while. Look at his legs.
Hey, that's not.
That's not funny.
he's gonna have to wear pants. It's too cold. over there.
But one thing I want to do, we're talking about Dustin's fight, and I thought, what a great idea to like take advantage of it. So here's what I'm doing. I'm offering a pick'em competition. So if you're a subscriber to the show, comment below not only who you think is going to win, but the manner and the round. And if you get all 3, then you will get this 94 Rocky Patel sampler.
Am I in on this?
It's got no, John is not eligible,
I'm not in on it.
but it's got a Rocky 50, the Rocky 55th, the New World Maduro or Old Maduro, and the 25th.
Okay, so
These are some of my favorite
You
Rockies.
should probably explain what you mean by.
Okay, fine. So what I mean is, if you think Dustin is going to win by TKO in round 2, which is kind of what I think, then that's
So
what
you
you would
don't have
say.
to be so
But don't say
specific.
that, because if that's what happens, then I'd have to split it with you since I already called it first. But
And then you have to split it again with me because I think the same thing.
twinsies, what are you gonna do?
Just saying.
What are you gonna do?
Just docking their opinions.
That is not nice, Lindsay.
So, or
You're
if you
just sad
thought,
that you don't get
or
to
if
be
you thought
outside,
that
Doc.
it was gonna end with like,
Inside?
John's like, why do I always have to be the turtle?
What?
Let John be the outer.
You know too much about that, Lindsay. Like, what the hell?
anyway. The point is, put your. I want to get a conversation going, so put your picks in.
Ask around. I got a
And,
big one.
maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe it'll be
Right.
Dustin via flash knock on the first, or maybe it'll be Dustin by decision, or maybe it would be like Dustin by late fight submission after Oliveira's broken down, like maybe 4th round. I mean, I think we've covered all the ways this fight could end.
I'm so sorry. That was not me. Oh, wait, it is.
First,
That was YouTube.
first,
That's YouTube
the
call.
judge in the Rittenhouse case getting his "I'm a real Hulkster" phone ring. Now John's got it.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
John.
should have silenced that.
Anyway, I did say that earlier. Like, hey, put your phone on
Silence
silent.
your phones. Say
Whatever.
please.
All right, so let's get some thoughts on these sticks, gentlemen and ladies.
I am going to say it's a little milder than I like. I like all the notes in it because I'm getting into the cocoa thing. I think that's, and plus it's, it's right around Christmas. So cocoa, but it's super mild for me. And I think the pairing is perfect. Get a good whiskey with it. You got a great cigar. What's the price? Hey, what's the price point on this?
Yeah.
It was kind of between about 11 and 13 bucks.
There you go. It's between $11 and $13. That's a great stick.
Yeah, and I think it's a good price point. I like how you can kind of taste that it's a Fuente. It's got that same flavor profile that you see in the Opus line, but not nearly on that same level of vibrancy. Like smoking that Aniversario, it was like what makes this cigar good, but turned up past 11, like to 15. If only Spinal Tap could have had access to that amplifier, but that's what I'm talking
I think
about.
they did. Hold on. I want to do the retro. I just want to see if that picks up more than what I've already had. I did not retro.
You swallowed it.
I swallowed it trying to. I wanted the peppery to hit my back of my sinuses, and that
John
did not
loves
work.
it when the peppery shit hits the back.
Oh
of
my
his
God. I
Hey,
know.
remember?
Is it-
Hold on. Remember the guy? So there was a guy. So we would have this cigar
We were
meetup
in John's
every Thursday, and this guy said, "Yo, man, I train my lungs to inhale." And Alex and I both looked at each other, going, "Don't do that. You're gonna die." These are not designed
He
to
sounded
inhale.
like he was gonna die like tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, he was like,
So let me tell you, I diverted Mosaic, you know what I'm saying? Put it in my lungs, and then they got used to it.
I'm
Well,
like,
like-
what? Shut up, dude.
Like
Stop
Lindsay's
talking.
dad, when he smokes, he'll inhale just a touch, because he's I don't know.
I did a little bit there, and I was like,
Crazy.
oh my God, it just killed me.
Yeah, I don't recommend doing that at all.
All right, so I'm gonna be the respectful dissent at this point.
RBG at the table here.
I like it, but it's nothing special. I don't know. I don't. There's nothing like real exciting in it.
No, it's very
just-
tame.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's good. It's decent quality. My wrapper is like coming apart. I don't know if that was because of a bad cut or what, but it's. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's a quality
She's like,
steak.
"Yeah,
I just
it's there.
that what you like?
See,
is that
see
what you like?
but-
I wouldn't seek this out to smoke.
No, I wouldn't either.
Okay, hold on.
It's
So what I'm saying is, when I said it's too mild for me, it's because it only has like that one kicker.
I mean,
But I would smoke
I'm
it.
not quite like I'm not even into my second third yet, so I try not to judge a cigar
Yeah, we need-
too
we need-
hard
we need
in
to
the first in the first third.
Right.
And like the first.
And you've been going
inch.
pretty hard on cigars, so
Yeah.
I mean, like your notes are like up there. Like you're kicking it with Kanye. I mean, you're on the next level.
Thanks, bud.
Just saying.
I like to cook. I'm like a super taster, so.
Yeah.
How would you compare this with the Taboo?
Oh my God. I would say this over the Taboo.
Yeah, me too.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just not a fan of
And here's why I'm saying that. Taboo is literally one note, and it's not even a good note. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to say. I'm not talking bad about it. It's just
Yeah, you are. He's like, it's horrible. It's terrible. I mean, I'm not talking bad about it, but it's horrible.
it's not.
just
It's not
the worst.
horrible because
Literally
in
the
a
worst.
pinch you
Look.
could smoke it.
This is my impression.
In a pinch, you can smoke a lot of shit.
This is my impression of John doing an emergency circumcision. Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
Look,
That's priceless.
you're so. Jesus.
Look, I don't mean to cut you off.
Well, you're a penis, and I'm gonna. Oh my God.
I would have to use that one. Look, I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah, don't use it when you're doing a circumcision. That would be very uncomfortable.
Please don't.
You know what? There's probably a dad doctor out there going like, "Listen, this is a dad joke. You're gonna get it one day."
Oh man,
Oh man.
I did an internship at a circumcision ward. I didn't get any pay, but collected all the tips.
Jesus Christ. Okay, what else are we talking about today? Not dad jokes. I didn't.
Oh, stare at Lindsay while I laugh. This is good. Look at the depth of field I got on our cameras today, man. It's
Oh.
pretty good, dude.
It looks nice.
Looks so nice.
Looks so nice.
All right, what else? What else do we need to talk about? We've covered our little sticks here.
Listen, I got so many things to talk about.
Of course.
What is up with our world falling to poo? Dude, did you hear about Indonesia? Dude, are you crying? Your joke was that funny?
Oh, it was. I thought you were gonna have a cardiac arrest moment at the table.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was bad. So listen, did you hear about the
Don't make me cry
volcano that just erupted in Indonesia?
Oh, I heard about it when you mentioned it a little bit ago.
Yeah, but I'm that's crazy. Now, cotton, everything's going to be screwed up. All the imports, that's going to suck.
Well,
we're already
it
bad off.
couldn't come at a better time.
Right?
Just saying,
Let's
like
find
people's
something else to be
Christmases.
panicking about.
They're
I
all
just
like,
think our Christmases are going to be like horrible. Like all those people with the sweaters, the ugly sweaters. If they didn't buy them last year for this year, they're pretty screwed. Don't you think?
I got an ugly sweater skirt.
That's not a sweater, Lindsay. That's
It's
not
made out of sweater, John. It just goes over my butt, not my boobs, okay?
Well, I'm going to shut my mouth now.
Because it's a sweater
Yeah.
made for my lower body, not my upper body.
Sorry, you're going to be wearing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to be wearing it. No, I'm wearing it tomorrow. We're going to the Pamplona Christmas thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm wearing it tomorrow to that.
I will say this has a nice. There's a fair amount of oils in this wrapper. Like
It's
if you,
pretty
lick,
oily.
That's the
It
one
is
thing I
oily.
think.
if you lick your
is
lips, and I like
Oh yeah, there you go.
I like an oily stick. I do. No Noxzema on this bad boy.
Who names these things?
I got to say, I don't love an oily steak. Usually kind of stinky.
I hope we're zoomed in far enough so you can see the look in her eye of desperation. for that joke.
Desperation.
That was
for that joke.
murder.
That joke
No.
to like come
That's
across. If that's not a joke, that wasn't a joke. Like I was waiting. She said, "I think it was a joke."
That was the double entendre.
It was a double. It was.
She's like, I'm being rude on multiple
A
levels.
double
I was
one
looking
touching
for
you.
something to be
That's what she's doing.
dirty.
That's fine. That's what she's doing. One thing that I wanted to talk about which carrying on from last week, we were discussing the Rittenhouse trial and basically the way that people frame things. And one of the things that
This person's not allowed on our channel anymore.
okay.
Let me
All
tell
right.
you something, buddy.
We are diamond fans here.
Listen, if you win, I will send those to you, but they may not be in the best condition.
They're going to be stomped on a couple.
It might just be a bag of ash with the bands. They're like, they were them. That was them. But they've gone through a
And
metamorphosis.
for anybody who can't read, he's saying
Can't read.
Oliveira
For all
round
the
2 by
non-literate
submission.
It's like, no hate, just enough. I get it, man. Listen, I want to, as
I'm a
Stevie Graham
big
said, I want to
Oliveira
be clear. Oliveira is my other favorite fighter. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
Yeah,
actually
big
1,000,000% true.
I am extremely when he fought Chandler for the belt. I was with John, and he'll tell you. Well, he won't tell me because he wasn't paying attention to me. He was paying attention to other stuff. But like, I was watching the fight, and my knees were shaking so hard because I watched Oliveira since he first entered the UFC.
You were like almost.
He was like
Like a
16-0. He was this undefeated prospect, and he was 20 years old. And he came in, and he didn't have any of those ridiculous tattoos. And he came in and just went after body parts. It was
Yep.
just like whatever you left behind, he was going to grab it. And he grappled the way that I like to grapple, which was like I don't set up stuff. Everything has an opportunity if you know how to
Like
look
a
for it.
frickin' noodle.
And he would
It's the
just
worst.
go for it. And I loved that. And but he had holes in his game, and so that's why he would get a win streak going, then he would lose, then he would get a few more wins, then he would lose to vacillate between weight classes, trying to find out, where his fit was.
I think
And
it's perfect where he's
I
at.
think, well, it was like he was at 155 when he started, but he was a little skinny, and he would get broken, like he would get hit too hard in the gut, and that would like take him down, or he would get hit once in the head, and he just would wilt. He went down to 145. He had some good success there, but ultimately couldn't get it going there.
It's the cut. It's
But
the
then he
cut.
started getting
The cut-
older.
Yeah, the cut kills people, man.
But
I know
the
that
iteration that we've seen from him since he went back to 155, I've really liked it. I love the way his striking is.
Yeah.
He's like knocking dudes out now.
He's like absolutely matured in his
Oh.
body control. Like going back to 155 after you know how to use your body and are able to like process those changes and stuff.
So this is a fight that I'm excited
really
about
benefited.
from multiple levels. Not just because it's our boy fighting, and it's not even because it's Oliveira fighting as well, but it's what this fight represents. It's two guys who have pretty much grown their entire careers in the UFC
Yep.
and personified that story of grit, stick-to-itiveness, determination, never giving up, and they've made
And
it.
that's why I side with Dustin. I'm sorry, I have to side with Dustin on this one because, listen, he made one of supposedly the best fighter that ever come up in the champ. He made him look stupid, not once, twice.
Yeah, you're right.
Stupid. Like he's like, you're not on my level. Go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But I think the biggest factor why I'm excited about the fight is their matchups, their styles. Like if you think
see, that's where
Gaethje-
that's where I think Dustin is going to soar because let me tell you something. The second he throws those leg kicks, look what it did to Conor McGregor. He's perfected it now. And he's hitting the backside of the calf, so he's gonna make it so he can't stand on that front foot, and then it's gonna be all grappling, and then he's not gonna be able to use his legs, so it's gonna be game over. Round 2.
Round 2 TKO.
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
I think I agree with Khabib in his analysis that he thinks that
What did he? I didn't hear what he said.
he said that Oliveira was very dangerous, but that Dustin's
Yes, he
endurance
is.
and his heart was going to be the ultimate deciding factor on this fight. And he said that if Dustin was able to take Oliveira into the deep waters, that it was his all day. But if he got careless
I
and
don't
tried
think
to take the fight to Oliveira early, that Oliveira could catch him in a submission. And
I don't know, man. I again, I have to go back to underestimating his ground game is stupid. Dude, Dustin's got an amazing ground game, as he showed in so many fights. Like, I mean, how many you want me to go through? Like, I could go through 10 right now on the top of my head.
Hey, I'll go through all of them, Lindsay said.
But I'm just saying, like, if you watch all of his stuff back when he was younger, yeah, he made too many stupid mistakes. He went out there and just started throwing hands with somebody who was a striker when he should have been just kicking him. You know what I mean? So I think he's matured. I think this is his belt to get, and I don't even think he wants it.
So I'm really hoping that this breaks some pay-per-view records, because the card itself, even though we lost the Masvidal fight, the card is awesome. You know.
Yeah, if I ever do get a chance to meet him, I'm gonna be like, you know, the only reason why, besides Dustin, I bought that damn ticket was to come see your ass, because we get to meet them. Which it looks like I'm gonna have to go with you.
Well, there you go.
I could just sleep outside your door. Hey, you guys got a drink in there I can get?
John's gonna sleep on the lounge by the pool.
Yeah, I will. Like, I'm with them. Which, I mean, it's
Oh,
Vegas.
my
So
goodness.
anything's possible.
Okay, so now that I got my Dustin conversation out of the way, hopefully we get some more diamond-friendly picks. You know, but whatever. Hey, it's whatever you want to do,
To each his own. Hey, you like who you like.
right? One of the things that
John was like 5 minutes ago was about to ban that guy.
Oh,
from
come
the
on.
page.
That was a JK. That was a JK.
He was a JK, guys. It was just a JK. It's
I
fine.
love our
It's
audience.
a JK.
is there
I think
like
I'm drinking water right now.
is that like a Harry Potter joke or something?
Just kidding, JK. Just kidding.
Oh, I thought you were quoting J.K.
Oh my
Rowling.
God. Look, Alex.
I'm
sorry.
sorry, Alex. I love you, bro.
Was that like the most like Aspie of Aspie moments for you, or were you trying to like be funny?
I don't remember.
It's like, I mean, it was definitely trying to be funny.
I don't.
Hey,
know.
okay.
Definitely was
But
a joke.
going to
Definitely
JK,
not just,
going to JK
definitely not
Rowling,
just-
dude, I'm
just-
actually getting into, because they're about to push out 3 new things.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, 3 new things.
can't
I know that's
keep up
kind
with y'all.
of stupid. I get it or whatever, but I'm really getting into the writing because, you know, I like to write. Dude, the writing on those things is phenomenal. And how they set things up was even better. Like, if you really go back and study the film, it's like watching a Marvel thing. It's like a masterpiece of
I'm going to
like
be very
fr-
honest here and say that I've never seen all of the Harry Potter movies.
good, because you want to make it to 3. No, you make it to 4, and then you're like, you want to turn them off because it's nothing but depression. You'd see more stuff happening in your courtrooms because it's like, it's so depressing. You're just like, okay, I see this every day. I don't need to see this anymore. Lindsay, is there a way that I can have another one?
I don't have any more eggs.
I don't need an egg. I just need whatever else you were doing.
He's like, I just need the whiskey.
Thank you, Lindsay. You're the best.
I know. John.
It's holding its ash pretty well.
His ass,
It is.
it's holding its ass very
It's
well.
holding its ash very well.
The ass is there.
I don't have to hold my ash anymore.
So are you guys?
I don't know what you're doing, but you're right. You don't have to hold your ash anymore.
It's
La-di-da.
perfect.
Alex holds my ash for me.
It's a very good ash.
Thank you. Take it off once in a while.
You take your ash off every once in a while?
Yeah.
That's not good.
I know.
It's detachable.
It's detachable.
It's
Detachable.
Hey, remember that song "Detachable Penis"?
Yes.
Dude, I played it for my
Fucking
kids
awesome.
just recently,
It's such a great song.
and the video is just
They love that
so
song.
bizarre. And you have to wonder, you know, what inspired that song? And be like, hey, just so hear
Probably
me
somebody
out.
who is really small, and they're like,
Hear
"If
me
I could
out.
just take it off and put a bigger one on."
I want to write a song about having a detachable penis, but I'm not actually going to sing it. I'm just going to tell a story about my detachable penis,
It's very weird.
and
And
you
the
will,
producer was like, "No,
you
the
will just
chorus
play
has to be."
a riff behind it, and then every now and then someone's going to go detachable penis, and that's like the only vocals
What's
in the
so
whole
funny
song.
about it is it's like, oh God, it is so 90s. It was 90s, right?
Yeah, it was 90s.
like,
It was late '80s.
That was late 80s.
Late '80s. No, it had to be late '80s. There's no way. Look, we got the shuka, and I'm keeping that on for our home audience.
this is why Alex is like, he comes home from work every day and he's like, hey, make me a cocktail.
Make
And
me
he
a
just
drink, woman.
sits- And then he just
You
sits
make
there.
me drink. No, you shaker the shaker, shooka.
Shaking your sugar, sugar.
I got to have the sugar.
Oh, I guess the race is over here because there's multiple people.
The
running.
race.
Yeah, there's a race on the next street
It
over.
was a parade.
I don't watch races.
A parade of what, Lindsay?
It was a Christmas parade. It's not a Christmas parade.
Why do I not know these things?
I don't know, John.
Oh, look, we're on that. Okay, that's not right.
What is that? We're in the desert today,
We're in the
guys.
desert,
It's
people.
great.
See, this is the problem with having your production booth get hammered throughout the course
Right?
of the show.
Oh God. He was like, "Hey, make me more drinks." And
Listen,
I was just like,
listen,
"Look at all this."
It's like, I don't know who pumped Pornhub into the show. I don't understand what happened.
Oh God, she's stuck.
That's like one of my favorites. By the way, I have a new one. I have a new one that I sent. I'm gonna send to you. I have
great.
the link. You guys are gonna laugh so friggin' hard. It's like a Western one, and they're in that like thing where you go where they're
The stockade?
Yeah, now it's on the stockade where they're like, oh, the judge made me stand here
Oh my God.
for a week. I gotta stand
For
on my
a
feet.
week.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. Like
And then what,
guys
she
are
got,
walking
like,
by, like,
phones?
yeah, that's right. You shouldn't have done it. Oh,
my
you're stuck,
God.
bitch. It's so funny.
Jesus.
It's so,
So,
funny. It's the best.
One
It's-
night. So let's tell. I think I need some background.
Oh
now.
my
So
God.
one night, it was what, Halloween.
Mhm.
We were all
Oh,
dressed
my
up and
goodness.
hanging out, and John was like, "So guys, I just found this new kind of porn, and it's just so good." And we were like, "Oh yeah, really? What is it?" And he's like, "It's called stuck porn," and he's like telling us about it. And so we were thinking about it. We were talking about it later on that night, and we were like, "You know what? I got to see this. Like, I got to see it."
It's the best.
So we pull it up, and it's like, stepmom gets stuck, and like stepson fucks her free. And we were like, oh Lord. And it's all step parents and stepchildren, which is so weird.
That is weird, but that is not the ones that I like. I like the
It's
ones where
all that.
I'm doing my husband's laundry and I got stuck in the dryer.
Okay, I saw the dryer one. It was her stepson. Anyway, so it's like
there's
they'll
multiple
go over,
ones.
they'll
ones
go
like that.
over and be like, okay, I'm getting this stuff off the sofa, and then they're like, I'm stuck.
And I don't understand because
I'm
as clumsy
stuck.
as you are, you've
I'm so
never
stuck.
gotten stuck doing chores around the house. I keep following you around, being like, "That looks like a tight fit." But boop,
Whoop, and get right out.
she gets
Whoop.
right out.
Anyway, so then we were like dying laughing, right? We were watching all of this like stuff porn. His mother like gets stuck under the table and she's like, help me, I just happen to be naked. It was horrible. So we're like laughing just crazy hard about it. And John was like, I mean, I didn't mean that I like it. I mean, like it's so hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It's so funny.
Dude, if my movie career doesn't really take off, I'm gonna write the scripts of those porn.
Dude,
Oh, God.
Oh my god, that'd
they
be
make money.
There is no writing to be done. There's 5 lines.
That's not true. What porn
Alex
are you
was-
watching?
You
watch
think
it
you
like
think
on
they
mute.
improv their whole?
No, I watch it on like mute usually.
Oh,
Who likes
Well, you gotta
who likes to
turn it
listen
on.
to the start? Why?
how
Because
do you
it's
appreciate the
hilarious.
character development and the arcs and the
Yeah.
thematic layers?
See,
if
that's
you
the
don't
thing.
have
Alex would write porn, and it would take him like a year to write one because you'd be like, oh God, this theme
Not if I'm
doesn't fit
helping.
this theme. And- no, it still would.
No,
'cause
I
it
would.
take
I would
just
hate
as
to
long.
tell you, John, I'm stuck.
I'm stuck, John. Oh, I got you.
Right? I'm coming, buddy. I'm on my way,
I'm
bud.
super coming.
Oh my God. Wow. What did we start? What did we start?
So I'm in my middle third, and it's warmed up. I think we're at its peak where it's going. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
That's what she said.
But you know, one of the things. So we need to talk about this. We had the second party for GNS. We once a month GNS partners with the merchant, and we host
First
a
Friday of the month.
first
what
Friday.
we're- I think
Okay,
we're hoping
first
for.
Friday of the month. We have it's a poker tournament, but we also cater it, and we have cocktails, and she curates the whatever the cocktail is for that event. And then people come in, we have a drawing, we give away prizes, people play poker. It's a freaking awesome party.
Yeah.
Well, the one we just had, it coincided with the release or the launch in this area with Prometheus, the Prometheus brand, because they're very obscure. So if you are looking for God of Fire sticks, it's not like Opus in that most places carry. God of Fire is a more specialty release. So
Yeah, not many people around here can get
you
it.
know, we're in Lafayette, and you'd have to go to Baton Rouge to
Yeah.
find any. And
But not now.
but
not
not
now.
now, not now.
Not
So
now. You just come right here to the merchant.
now they're here and they're amazing. And so we had them for the release party, and I had a Don Carlos Anniversario, and I have already like 5 of them in my aging collection, but I had never smoked any of them because every time I go to a new place, it's like show and tell. It's almost like if you're a picker and you go to a new town's junk collection. It's like you're just excited because you don't know what you're going to find. That's kind of what it's like for me. And so I go and I look, and then I always ask the owner, you know, make me a personal recommendation for just something that you love that's like unique to your store that you're proud of. And then I look for anything that's rare, anything that's cool. So I have a bunch of Anniversarios, and they're all expensive. They're like $35 a piece. But I never smoked any of them. Well, until Friday.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. It was better than any Opus I'd ever had. It was extremely composed, delicious, very rich, very nuanced. It was amazing. And what did you have?
I had the God of Fire.
We got Fire-
Which, I mean, yeah, but I had to buy it from you because you bought them all.
But
I mean, it was from your stash.
in my defense, I wanted them all.
But
So-
I still had to buy them from you
Well, but I
to
mean,
make sure that I had it because you bought them all.
It's like a
look,
start.
look, I'm tied in. I'm that's like one of my favorite smokes of all time. And I mean, because it has a history for me and it brings me back to memories. And just every note, I mean, even the richness of it, it just puts my mind
At ease.
yeah, not also just at ease, but it takes me back to like hiking. You know what I mean? It takes me back to our shit we were doing on the top of the mountain. Like,
dude,
you know
if
what I
we
mean?
could we could just edit one thing out of that Colorado trip, that was like the coolest trip.
Yeah, I mean it was. I mean I did. I made a whole video for it. I do.
Just
I
like
have a
edit
whole-
one.
I meant
Party.
edit one person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. yeah. But I'm just
Oh,
saying,
my-
like that was an amazing trip, and I just
That was a super fun trip.
I
had a
don't
great time.
listen when we get there, right? We're first off, Lindsay set up where we were staying, and I'm looking across the way, and she goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, that's where The Shining was." And first off, I mean, like you're talking about a fan of The Shining. I mean, I like have had tattoos. I got tattoos on my
Joe's
body.
like, let me show you my boobs real
I'm
quick.
just saying.
I don't
like,
really have a
I'm
tattoo. I just want to take my
I'm a huge fan. And then Lindsay's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that's where I was like this drone." I fly over this place. I'm just like, that's where the freaking Shining was filmed. You don't know how happy you made me. Like,
Dude, we remember.
We had a
We
great
were
trip.
there.
That was
And then
that
like
was a
we
super
toured
fun
the
trip.
Stanley. It was
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, that was
not only did we tour the Stanley, I mean, we were invested into it. Like we went in there and had drinks. Like, I mean, like
That's right.
We were there.
That's right. We
We
did.
were like, we weren't just there. We were there.
we were there.
And by the way, the other film that was filmed there was Dumb and Dumber, which I thought was a classic friggin' comedy.
It is. And the thing is as time goes on, I love that movie more and more because of how they would not be able to do that again today. You know, humor like that. Comedies, I really don't like the way that the comedy is going now.
Because they can't step on any toe. Have you ever known I saw a meme the other day. I thought it was so funny. But you know what? I'm not even gonna say it because it's just too far gone. But I'm just, I mean,
so super funny.
I think
teaser.
because you can't say that. But it's things that you can't say anymore. You just can't, and I think it's just
edit,
hilarious.
boop, edit.
Well, it's just that in every film you have, if you're not like a multi,
Just
diverse
said it was an amazing
thing, and they won't even air it. You'll go straight to DVD.
straight to DVD.
Well, I heard that
It's like who buys DVDs?
some big companies, they're now telling their advertisers, like all of the commercials, all the advertising you do for us has to have these diversity quotas.
Yeah.
Everything has to tick the boxes now because wokeism is slowly encircling everything to where
It doesn't
everything
matter who
must
you
conform
are.
to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, everything. If you don't conform to it, you're just not going to go.
And I think that what we're going to see is a tipping point where the people just ultimately reject it because it's against it's against nature. the idea.
But it didn't every didn't the Romans go through this same exact thing where it's like at first it started off with like everyone had to be gay or whatever, you know what I mean, where they were all had to wear wigs or whatever, and then it's like
John's like, I love this one.
I'm just saying, like
Everyone is
but
just
wasn't it like
Pining for
that?
the old days.
And then
For the old days.
I was
And
meant
then-
to live in another time and era.
But I'm just saying, like, didn't that happen back in the day? And then that was like always how you knew it was the end of an era for their
Yeah, when Gideon wrote Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire,
yeah.
they're talking about like how what ultimately rotted it out was the social
Forcing everyone
collapse.
to be gay.
The way it keeps going.
You see, when they all went gay, God was like, I would send a hurricane to kill you because that's my thing, according to Louisiana. But he didn't have that, so he sent the Huns instead. And he was like, they start with an H. It's like the same thing,
It's basically the same thing.
you know.
All right.
But
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Move-
Okay. So now I
Let's
got.
find new topics to call
I
John Gay about.
understand that we have limited time here, but I really want to get your opinion on this, the Ghislaine Maxwell case. Like,
well,
I know it's not.
I guess the first thing is, how the fuck do you pronounce her name? Put it in the comments below. Is it Ghislaine? Is it Ghislaine? Is it Ghislaine?
Well, since she was a part of all that thing, I think it's Jizz.
It's Ghislaine.
What do you think? No, too
Ghislaine.
too soon.
Ghislaine.
I think it's Ghislaine as well, because that's what she said.
Ghislaine. He's smart for like one thing.
Smart gay, super smart.
He's
All right, so what do you want to talk about it?
actually very, very
Okay,
smart.
so
very dumb.
let's start with if you have a list of people that were, I mean, on the manifest going there. I don't care who they are, whether it be a president or an actor or a politician or just somebody who is a well-named person. Why is it kosher for them to get off? But then if it's someone that's on your do not, like list, it's okay. Why aren't they being thrown through the mud?
A lot of people are. You're just not really seeing it in the media.
Well, that's what
I
I'm saying.
mean-
But they're not though, really.
Well, I mean,
There's enough people
just being
on
on
that.
on a list to be there. I mean, doesn't really give you a whole lot.
Well,
of
because
cause to arrest him.
what's happening is if you're not emotionally invested to the interests involved, then it's really easy for you to maintain an air of objectivity. So when you see the manifest and the names on it, you're very far removed from those names. And so whether it's somebody on team A versus team B, you're kind of going to look at it the same way. And so that's where your question comes from. It's, well, if team A has a person on there and we're able to identify how bad that is, then why can't we do that for the people on team B?
Hold on. Okay, I misrepresented what I was talking about. Okay. So what I mean by that is, okay, so you have a person who is on a manifest, definitely went to the island, right?
Uh-huh.
Those people should now be questioned, and right? Because I mean, like just say someone was a part of an incident in a murder,
Okay.
or a rape or whatever.
I mean, a
Don't
lot
you
of them
have to take those people into custody and say, "Oh, I got to take you into custody for this blah blah blah"?
A lot of them have been questioned, though.
Okay,
Like a lot of the people on the manifest and stuff have.
We just don't know. Like I am so ignorant of the depth of the investigation into the
it's
Epstein stuff.
online. I mean, you can go online.
Well,
Okay, so hold on.
But what I'm saying is, like, the media though is suppressing it. They're not putting it out there. Like if
You don't have to tell me about all.
if they
the,
had
but-
if they had given as much exposure to the Epstein facts as they did their coverage of Rittenhouse, it would have been a totally different thing. But that's just it. If you don't go actively seek out those details, you're not going to find them because they're not just talking about it. You're not going to
I
be
know,
able
but
to.
the law is law, right?
Okay.
The law is the law. If you're involved in something that had that magnitude of like rape. I mean, like rape, underage, soliciting crap, like you know what I'm saying, like all that stuff. And you're going to take down this Ghislaine or Miss Maxwell. Okay, so you're going to take down Miss Maxwell.
Miss Maxwell.
Everyone whoever
That
was
was
associated with her or associated with this crimes, then why aren't they being taken into custody? I mean, literally, the guy who flew the plane back
Well,
and
you know-
forth said this person was being inappropriate. This person was being inappropriate. This person with underage 14-year-old girls that were on the plane flying to the location. He's calling them out, and they're still not doing anything.
That was like what I think the pilot testified on Monday, Tuesday.
It was the second
It
day.
was Tuesday.
Well, the
Tuesday.
second and third day. I mean, it was
So
blood in the boat.
Tuesday. But I mean, how do you know they haven't been?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, so I
There's
really can't
nothing. There's like
comment.
literally nothing publicized about this case, and for good cause, right?
Well,
This
I mean,
is-
because of
this
the poor kids.
not just that, it's that this case is like buried.
Why is it buried?
Are you seriously asking that question? Because it's elites that run this whole country, and they have the possibility of being exposed.
So it's okay for someone
Whoa,
like
whoa. I didn't make that claim.
She's not
I didn't say
saying
that
it-
it was
she's just saying
okay.
what it
I'm not
is.
attacking
saying-
you.
no,
I'm not
I
attacking you.
understand that.
I'm
But
saying
I mean, don't twist my words when I say that this is why it's happening. I'm not saying that it's
Obviously,
okay.
it's not okay,
This is
John.
why it's this is why it's happening.
They're covering their asses, and that's why they're
and
suppressing.
that is what is wrong with our society. That's what's
Sure.
wrong with our society,
Well,
because it's
obviously.
okay for elites to do things and we don't shame them. But
Oh,
the
well,
second
I mean, that's been
a kid is defending his father's area because he's thinking it's the right thing to do,
that's not a new.
Yeah, I mean,
you get
That's not a
shamed.
thing, bud.
You have people like LeBron James out there hating speech.
dude, they had
doing
like
hate speech.
2,500 people at ASU, which is the school Kyle Rittenhouse wants to attend,
Yeah.
sign a petition and protest saying we don't want this killer on our campus, get this murder off. Like, this is nuts.
And we don't see a problem with that.
I think a lot of people see
A lot of
problem
people
with
do.
that.
See, here's the thing about the media that's interesting. So for the last, I don't know how many years, the media has cultural change is like the Grand Canyon. It's incremental. It's not like you have it looking like flat land and then one day this catastrophic upheaval occurs and then there's the Grand Canyon. It's very slow.
Yeah, it's slow.
Steady, under pressure for a lot of period of time.
Yep.
Well, that's the way cultures change. Ideas, they just drift a little bit, kind of, because it's like emotions. There's conditioning, and so as
So many
long
things ran
as
through my head when you
as
said
long
that.
as you have this emotional barrier, then you will say, "I'm not comfortable past this point." I like this over here. This feels good, but over here. But the thing is that the more you just kind of encroach on that boundary, closer to it, you start to desensitize, and so that boundary pushes a little bit. And so the nature of society is one where it's going to move in a direction where the values are going to change pursuant to an ideology, because people aren't thinking about that. They're thinking in terms of, well, it feels okay, and it keeps moving a little bit further. Well, it feels okay, and then before you know it, it's absolutely into the extremes. Well, what the society has been trying to do is accelerate that lately with the whole like, okay, if you're not on board with what we're doing, you're a bad person. If you don't want to vote for our candidate, you're a bad person. Thinking that, well, we've laid the foundation to think that because we keep preaching this message that we're the tolerant front, we're the good, we're progressives, we just want good things for all these people. So if you oppose that, then obviously you must be a bad person. Well, the problem is that more and more people are saying, well, not only do I disagree with you about where you want to go, but now you're saying I'm a bad person because of that. And so now people are getting upset. And so there's this pushback, but the media is not really letting that voice come out a whole lot. And so you end up with stuff like there was this March for Freedom or whatever in Washington over the weekend.
Yep. Yes, there will.
I couldn't imagine ever doing something like that because it was just like a couple thousand dudes just walking in a line for a while and then stopping. Like, that seems dumb to me. Why would you do that? But the
because
point is that
it gets
can
the
you
message out.
imagine? Can you imagine how many Tom, Dick, and Harrys, how many normal people have to be that outraged about what's going on with? Like, I'm going to go make a shield and mask my head and go walk, risking what the counter attack is, because whenever there is any sort of like right wing protest, the left, number one, they demonize them and they say these are Nazis, regardless of what their cause is. And then because they claim that they're Nazis, and that justifies violent counter protest. So then they show up with their black blocs and then they instigate violence. But they're all like, well, we're fighting Nazis, so it's good. But the whole thing is,
But But you don't think that it sends a message of look how controlled we are to where we don't act out, we don't do violence. We just want to protest and say like this is our views and this is what we're arguing, and we're fighting for it, but in a different way where we're not burning down cities, we're not inciting riots. We're literally doing what we're allowed to do. We're speaking up and giving our opinion.
So what are you asking me exactly? Do you think that nonviolent method of protest is weak? Is that what you're asking?
No, I say that it's stronger than when you go and you say like some of these politicians, we need to take Trump out back and beat him like my boy, whatever Biden said. If it was, I'll take him out behind the gymnasium, or that other one in Illinois lady where she was just like, we need to just beat Trump up. I'm not saying I'm a big Trump lover. I'm just saying, like, dude, they could say all those things, but then when people peacefully march and just say, I want to speak up because this is how I feel, and then they do it in a peaceful manner and they just march, they get demonized, and people who are literally burning down cities get praised.
But it's all about
What's
the
wrong with
emotional
that?
framing, okay? Because they think the people burning down the cities are fighting for social justice, that they're fighting for the weak, that they're fighting against oppressors, and the entire system is oppressing people. The way they look at those people is that they are desperate to fight against oppression, that look what it's come to. So they find a way to and spin it so that they're sympathetic figures. They're all the people written out skilled martyrs, even though there's
Kids.
Well, that's irrelevant to being a martyr.
But no, that's like, why would you go?
It's like, no, it's not.
But anyway, so that's why they don't look at it from an even perspective. It's that their people on their team are good, and so they look at everything through this lens that makes it okay. And then the people on the other side, because they're the villains, they look at it from this other lens that makes everything look as bad as possible.
How do we not live in a society that just can't see their own flaws and they still want to stick up for this? This is mind-boggling. Does anyone else think that this is mind-boggling?
Humans have always been this way.
I don't like the mob mentality. I think that is insane.
Have you ever heard of the French Revolution, John?
I
Like,
know.
never.
Do you know what that was?
Well, I mean, I know what it is. I didn't know. What do you mean by what it was?
That was that. The French Revolution was people were so pissed off that they said, "Fuck it, we're going to kill everybody who's in charge." That ultimately is what the French Revolution was. It wasn't principial. We don't think you guys have the authority to do this, so we're going to write this elaborate paper saying that this is the dynamic we want with the country, and if you can't give us this, we're going to farm out. No. It was, fuck you. We're killing you. We're pissed.
But why would the leaders of our country, which I've seen this argument a million times, of where they say like, okay, this is for the better of the people. This is the better of the people. And then you have so many people going like, what are you like? How did this happen and put us into this position to where you would escalate something so far as to push it to that point?
All right. Let me ask you this, John. All right. So Kim Jong-un, the Korean dictator.
Yeah.
Do you think that he thinks of himself as a bad guy?
Yes, 100%. He thinks he's a bad guy, but he loves it.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You think Hitler thought he was a bad guy?
Yes.
No, you're wrong.
No.
None of them did, man. They all thought they were the good guy.
They thought that they were doing what they thought was right. Is that what you're asking?
To the degree that they have a worldview, they're acting pursuant to what the right thing is, but they're screwed up. Okay, so Kim Jong-un.
You seriously think that Hitler thought that he was a?
I was a Hitler
wasn't-
expert, dude. I like.
Well,
read
I know.
a
I'm
ton of
asking.
books on
I'm
Hitler.
asking. I'm not telling you. I'm
Yeah,
saying
absolutely.
like,
He thought he was a good guy.
that's insane to me. Anyone who thinks that murdering masses amount of genocide to a certain Jewish, that is insane.
Do you realize we are as close to a mass cultural attitude towards genocide? We're as close to World War II Germany now than I've ever seen
Are
any
you
other
talking
culture.
about the American people?
The Americans. Okay,
Wow.
if you watch the way people talk about the unvaccinated,
That's mind-boggling.
you have the media and you have a lot of people saying that they should not even be in our society anymore. Dude, when you study the 1930s in Germany, it started off very small with the anti-Semitism. There was this attitude of, we don't like them. They're not good here. But as far as changing their rights, making them wear the stars, and then segregating them from society and then killing them, there were a lot of steps that took. There wasn't just like, so we got these Jews here. We don't like it. What we're going to do? Oh, we should, exterminate. That wasn't how it went. It was, well, they got their wealth illegally, and so we have to fix that. So we have to restrict what they can own. We have to make them pay confiscatory taxes. All those things, those are the first steps. But as they do those things, it marginalizes and others them even more. And so it allows people to blame them for everything that's going wrong in their society. Think about what we have now. What is wrong with our society? Our economy is bad. We're under these lockdowns. Civil liberties are being infringed left and right. People are pissed. What do people who pissed want to do? They want to blame somebody. Okay, so who do you blame here? Well, when Trump was the president, the media was all like, everything's Trump's fault. Everything's Trump's fault. Everything's Trump's fault. But now he's gone. And so they can't really do that anymore, even though they kind of try to. Well, they can't blame it all on Biden or Fauci, even though they should. Fauci's a proven liar. He's lied to Congress twice. But they're still,
why is that not a big
they're
deal?
still going to defend him because he's one of their boys. Okay. So guess who the bad guy is? It's the unvaccinated. You have the president of the United States saying this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. You have all the people who work in the public health sector saying that the answer is just get vaccinated, because by not getting vaccinated, you're being selfish, you're being irresponsible with other people's safety, you are contributing to deaths and all that stuff, even though none of that stuff's true. But they're putting this message out there. And so now you have people like us who are just like John Q. citizens living on the streets. Who do we focus all our ire on? It's the unvaccinated. And that frustration, if that hits to a high enough level, you think that's going to stop them from wanting to see people die? I don't think so. We're almost there. We're at the point where people legitimately want unvaccinated people shipped off to camps like they're in Australia now.
They are doing that.
Okay.
I saw
And
that.
so we are moving closer and closer. I'm not saying anybody is planning, oh, we need to make sure we get to this place where we can kill people. But that's just the natural inertia of stuff. And so as these values polarize more and more, where the people on the different sides just hate the living shit out of each other, this is a recipe for violence. And it's scary.
So, I mean, but the government has to know that it's going to come to that.
Well, here's the thing. People who are ideologues are delusional because they see their ideology over everything else. And so they just double down, which is why every time one of their policies fails, like look what's going on in California right now. Okay.
In regards to what?
In
There's a lot going on
in regards to
California right
the theft. The fact that there are these mobs of people who just go and they hit these stores and these flash robberies. They're doing it all over.
Okay, I know what you're saying. I know what you're talking
to the point where the destruction has gotten so extreme that these really high-end retailers are like boarding up their facades to create secure entrances because it's that bad. People are leaving California en masse because it's that bad. But do you think Gavin Newsom is being like, you know what, maybe these were bad ideas? No, they want more restrictions. They want more regulation, okay? Because in their mind, that's the answer.
Or they're being told that. They're being told to do that.
Okay, so yeah, you may have some people who are just like shills who do whatever the money tells
dude, come
them.
on, let's be honest. Dude, Pelosi's there.
But
Like that's her like home state.
yes.
So if she's saying this is the way it's going to go,
Okay, so
how's that woman not in jail?
if you follow if you follow the politicians, you get to find out pretty quickly who are the ones who are ideologues and who are the opportunists. Okay, the opportunists are the ones who go on TV and say the most ridiculous things just because they're getting paid to say that. Like Swalwell, that farted on CNN.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
Hilarious.
He just cashes in on whatever. Pelosi was one of them. Schumer is one of them. Schiff is one of them. Yep. On the other side, you've got McConnell. You've got Mitt Romney. You've got Lindsey Graham. Those are like the big ones. I think Santorum kind of. I thought Cruz was. But the more I learn about Cruz, the more I think, no, he's more of an ideologue than an opportunist. Biden, opportunist. Obama, ideologue. Very different. And so the people who are the ideologues, they're going to do what their ideology tells them to do, which will make them look weird when they want to double down on a patently failed policy. But then you got the opportunists who they don't have any trouble contradicting each other. They'll be like, I know what I said yesterday, but I didn't say that. I'm saying this is something else. And it's because it's whatever is expedient.
Okay. I have a problem with that too.
Well, I got a problem with all of it.
Politicians are allowed to change their mind.
Sure.
They can see things one way until they get that thing in order and they push it out there. And then they go like, well, maybe we made a mistake.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this, John. How many politicians can you recall at the top of your head who articulated a public position, then changed it, and then gave an honest explanation of why they changed it?
Literally, it's never happened.
Hold on. That's 100%. That's not
not true. It's
100%
happened
not
before.
true.
Ever in the history of ever.
The guy who is holding up half the bills.
Manchin?
Yeah. And the other, the chick, what's her name?
AOC?
No, not AOC. The other one who's holding up all the bills with the Manchin.
The Democrat?
Yeah. Who? Her.
Oh, who did you say?
Kirsten Cinnamon.
Oh,
Dude, she's been doing the same exact thing. She's like, we need to look at this a little bit more because I think I made a mistake here.
okay, but think how rare that is.
But they're doing it.
But it's very, very rare because that's not how most politicians are made.
Oh no,
Most politicians,
they're paid to think the way that they're getting
like,
paid to do.
One of the things that I was so entertaining was when Mitt Romney was running for president, and they were asking him about Obamacare, and he's like, first thing I'm going to do. I know I'm talking like I'm kind of pro wrestling promo. I know first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to repeal it. It's unconstitutional. It's terrible. But Obamacare was Romney care. It was pretty much lifted from his plan. Yet he was talking like it was the worst thing because it was what the party wanted him to say. But he never was able to say, okay, listen, guys, as governor, I did this plan because of these are my reasons, but these reasons don't apply on the White House level, so it's different and I can't do it. I would have respected that. I'd been like, okay, well, he's trying to be consistent, but what we ended up with was just an empty suit saying he was like Joe Biden, just whatever the establishment neocons want me to say, I'm going to say that, but I have a nice haircut and a winning smile. And so like that makes everything all better.
I still don't understand it, and my home state is Delaware, so it's like I don't understand that guy at all. I just don't. Like he literally say, "I'm going to say what they tell me to say." Like, what do you want me to do, Pelosi?
Well, now you make him sound like Ross Perot.
I'm just saying. Okay,
Got huge ears.
I'm just saying. Like,
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Come on, man.
I'm just saying. You got a country. You got to make people happy.
Okay, now it sounds like George Bush. Pick a lane. Alex.
Pick a lane.
Anyway,
Pick a lane, Alex.
so let's go back to the original thing. Was Miss
I'm just
Maxwell?
here for
Oh my God.
comedy relief.
How is she getting thrown through the mud, and the people who are associated with her getting thrown through the mud not being in the same position that she's in? There,
She got
Bam.
through the mud
Boom.
first.
Bing,
No.
bam, boom.
no.
Well, I mean,
She was not thrown through the mud. Epstein was.
well,
Epstein was thrown through the
She
mud
was taken
first.
down at the exact same time that Epstein was, or just shortly
No,
thereafter.
she wasn't. No,
A little
she
bit after.
wasn't.
She
It
was
was a
as a
year
child.
after they found her with the guy who was the military guy who bought the house for her under her name for $1 million.
She was indicted like shortly after.
Yeah, a year later.
I don't even think it was
Whatever.
that, but
Yeah.
What's your point, Vanessa?
I mean, she's been in prison now for what, 17 months, something like that. She's been in prison for a long time.
I don't think it was 17 months. Was it?
She's been in prison for a long time. I mean, haven't you heard all the? She's being.
Oh, yeah, because she has COVID.
No, she doesn't have COVID. She's just not being treated like an elite. And so she's like, I don't have like anywhere safe and comfortable to sleep on. And
But don't you think she should-
bad? And
But don't you think she should be saying that same? Look at the way that Bill Cosby got treated.
why should she get special treatment in prison?
Exactly. I don't think she should. Just like I didn't
No,
think
I'm
that,
saying
that Bill Cosby shouldn't have
Her
gotten the same
legal
thing.
no, I'm not saying saying that she should, John. Her legal team is making these big complaints, and they're saying.
But
that
if
not
she's a
getting treated.
whistleblower, if she's saying like, "Look, you want me to start singing? I'm about to become a canary. Like I'm gonna be a parrot. I'm gonna tell you whatever the hell you want to hear me
I don't
say."
think she would say that.
Why wouldn't she say that if she's trying to save her own hide?
Try not to die.
Yeah, that's the bigger picture,
If she
John.
was like, "Yay, let me free!"
So
and I'm
you know-
gonna blow all the
no,
whistles,
I don't
she's
think- I don't
get
think she's
killed,
gonna
like,
be
the
free.
day she walks out.
What is it? She's English too. She's not even American.
That like I think the Vatican and the royals in England were all implicated in
Yeah.
the Epstein.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
mean,
exactly why I'm saying like
She doesn't
she
say
should be
anything.
like
So I mean, we're talking about like when you have a low-level operative in the mob get arrested, and the authorities want that person to like rat out the mob, and the pressure that person feels to cover for the mob because hey, it's the mob, they're going to kill me even if I'm in prison. You can't really protect me. Can you imagine how?
well, maybe that's why she's singing. She doesn't want to get
how
killed
different
while she's
it
in
is
prison.
when it's the people who control the world.
Well, I mean, look at.
That's
Scary.
That's
isn't it?
ultimately the people that are implicated in the Epstein scandal.
I
It's
mean,
the people
we
who
had
run
Epstein,
the
right?
world.
Epstein. We all saw what happened to Epstein when he started naming names, and all of a sudden he suicided himself.
He did. We all know he
Clearly.
suicided himself.
Clearly,
Did I
but
tell
like
you
it
that-
was just like within weeks, he wasn't, couldn't be tried anymore. And now there's this whole idea that Ghislaine is being tried for Epstein's stuff.
Well, that can happen.
Well, not
You set up your Christmas lights yet?
what?
I'm sorry. You were saying?
Did you set up your Christmas lights yet?
Yeah, they're on.
Oh, I have
They were
to,
on last night.
I had
I know,
Lindsay
Alex-
give me some new lights. She fucked up, man. She bought those Epstein lights. They don't hang themselves.
I like how Alex interrupted something that I was going to say to tell a fucking.
But you know
stupid
why?
dad joke.
But do you know why, Lindsay?
Do I know why?
because-
What?
Know why he interrupted? Because that's how fast this man's brain works.
Oh, no,
He
I'm very
legitimately
aware.
says,
I'm very
he
aware
says,
the reasons why
we're in a
interrupts.
joke. He's in a joke and he says, he's like, oh my God, hang on a second. I got it. And then boom. It
No,
goes.
I'm very aware of why he interrupts me. It just doesn't stop pissing me off.
But dude, it's the best. It's the best dad
Because
joke here.
I'm a huge misogynist. Is that the reason?
You're not. No, you just have autism.
Oh,
Most men interrupt me because they're huge misogynists.
okay. So I'm different. I'm disabled.
He's disabled. I give him like a very small pass, but I still like I still kind of give
Whatever.
you grief when you.
I'm in my final third. What do you think? Give me some impressions here.
So if I'm speaking honestly, because I relit it, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna taste something better at the end, or even in the middle, and I'm a little less than you. I'm not impressed. I mean, I like it. I like it,
I
but
like
I'm
it.
not like going like, oh my God, I'm gonna seek this out every day.
The cocoa flavor has really deepened.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depth to that
Yeah.
flavor. It's almost like toasty,
601.
like
It's toasty,
toasty
yep.
cocoa.
Yep. Almost,
Yeah.
It's got almost a leather quality to it.
It does, but it's not that like smack you in the face with a leather
Right.
boot,
Right. Yeah, not like that
leather
Nestor,
flavor.
the special
Yeah.
selection. Choo, that's a leather one.
Yeah, that is leather.
That's one we
This
should probably
is-
feature on the show.
Obviously.
You know what else we should feature on the show?
If
601.
you're just trying also too.
The 601. This nigga, the 601. Ah, the 601. So here's what I'm going to say about this stick.
It's very solid.
Cool.
When we were having our party, one of the friends of the show, Harry, he stopped by, and that's awesome. Whenever
Yeah.
somebody who like is a follower of us is like, I'm coming to one of your events. It's really flattering. It's awesome. He had a great time. Well, we were talking about cigars, and one of the things that he said that was really interesting was like, you guys get really deep into the cigar, and like I'm not there yet, and that tells a story because not everybody is in the same place with their palate when they smoke. So there's different things they're looking for, and I think this cigar would be a great cigar for your intermediate smoker. I'm talking about people who don't just want to smoke factory smokes,
Yep.
or the lowest grade. If you're smoking something like this, if you're a person who likes good tobacco, but doesn't really know how to separate all the flavors or appreciate that because you don't smoke $20 sticks and you don't smoke Davidoff and all this stuff, you're like this a lot.
Yep.
I think the reason why we're being critical of this is because we're spoiled.
For sure.
You know, I mean, I'm not gonna.
You
I'm
know
not
what?
gonna lie to you.
I didn't take that into consideration until you just said it.
Yeah, dude, you smoke some of the best stuff in the world,
Dude, if you smoke this and you're like not a kind of, you're going to freak out. Like, oh my God,
This
what is this?
This is quality tobacco.
Dude,
it's well constructed.
1,000,000%.
I've only had to touch it up one time because I was
Once.
taking
that's
too
same
long.
with me.
But the ash held up really well. So I can't really fault it as for what it's trying to be. But if my wheelhouse is, you know, I want the Plasencia, you know, or I want the Padron 90 or something like that, then obviously this is a far cry removed from it. But without that stuff, you know, yeah, that's what makes finding cigars for this show difficult, because I want to show a diversity of things. But like, if it's just what I want to smoke, I mean, we're going to be smoking the Opus Lost Cities and the God of Fires and the Escurios and, you know, crazy stuff, because
Dude, come on.
that's
But
what I'm
Lost
into.
Cities, dude. It's like, oh my God.
well, yeah.
Like, I mean, you're tasting
Dude,
heaven.
So when we finally get to where you come over and film my collection, oh, man, we're gonna have some fun, because I got my Fuente humidor. Like, I really beefed it up with that Prometheus stuff. Sure, so excited.
I'm not on his level. I'm just
So
not
excited.
on his level. I'm just not. Just saying.
Mm.
You're
Well, it's
light
good.
years ahead.
It was
of me.
okay. Anyway, I actually really like this. I'm having a good time with it right now. It started off pedestrian. It was kind of middling around without a whole sense of directions or what it wanted to be. But when it warmed up, then it was like, okay, this is good. And then in the final third, it warmed up, and then that little leather note kind of kicked in a little bit. I love the leather. Cocoa and leather are two of my favorite notes. That came in, and like I'm digging it. So I'm having a good time.
I'm not gonna kick it out of bed for eating crackers. Isn't that right, crackers? See,
But-
I wouldn't. No, but for me, you know, I like everything it encompasses. I mean, even if you're spending between $11 and $13 for a cigar, you want it to sing to you. You know what I mean? You're spending $11
Now,
to $13.
If I was to grade this just within its own class, meaning cigars at its price range, then I would say it's above average.
You think?
Yeah, dude, you can go. There are a lot of CAOs that are $10 to $12 that. There are a lot of like the Macanudos, the H. Upmans, the Monte Cristos.
601? You think that this holds a candle to 601?
Well, the 601's a Maduro. It's meatier than this.
Oh yeah,
So,
but
I mean,
the 601 has a mild one. Doesn't it? Just saying it
But-
does. Oh my God, we got some side going on for
Bruh.
Lindsay.
so like I would say this is roughly with the Herrera Estelis for Drew Estate.
Ooh,
Those are
I know
those
you-
they're
I know.
mid tier. Those are a little bit more expensive than this.
Yes.
I say this competes with those pretty well.
Really? You think that this competes with that?
I mean, I've had most of the Herreras. I think the Brazilian Herrera is better than this, but the
I really
Miami,
like the Brazilian Herrera.
but the Miami is not that much better than this. It's about the same.
Miami's my least favorite one.
I agree.
Yeah. You think this is better than the Miami? Yeah. So it's 2-on-1.
I also agree.
So,
I like the Miami.
I may just be a mathematician, but like
then the others really, it's kind of hard to compare. It's one different flavor profile. Like the D'Artagnan.
I can't argue.
But one of the things I want to do is show some real diamond. Like, can this compete with anything from Black Label at this price? Not really. I think Black Label's
See,
better.
now you're shutting down.
But it's a different, like Black Label.
Comparing a white wine to like a red one.
Yeah, it's very different, But like Curivari, if we're just letting our hair down here, I would say Curivari is probably doing it better than anybody right now because their sticks are very affordable and amazing. I haven't had a bad one yet.
Hold on.
Oh man, those ones that we had in New Orleans were incredible.
Incredible.
Okay, so I'm gonna reel you in here because I think you're so far off the deep end that you got to be reeled in a little bit.
Okay, reel me in.
What's the name of this cigar?
This one?
Yep,
The Casa Cuba.
Casa Cuba.
Yeah.
So what do we hold our standards to?
With respect to what? What do you mean?
Where do we get the best tobacco?
Cuba.
Yeah, but this isn't a Cuban.
Okay, but if you're gonna put Casa Cuba in there, and you're trying to hold it to that kind of
I
standard,
don't think they are. I mean, who knows why they named it what they did?
well, that's
It's the House
Lindsay.
of
You
Cuba.
can't say it's a House of Cuba. You can't say House of Cuba and then not hold it to that standard and have one note kicking.
No,
But wait a second. How
Dude.
are you gonna? No, what?
No, go
You
ahead.
have a
No, I want to hear
Okay.
what you have to say, Lindsay. This is the whole right.
I mean, I just don't understand.
I'm
like,
playing Simon
don't-
Cowell here. I got to hear.
I
it.
don't know if you're gonna have. I mean, I don't think that putting Cuba on your label in any capacity has anything to do. I mean, why are they using the word?
I beg to differ.
Well, literally
Okay.
all premium cigars pretty effective Cuba because Cuban seeds and all that went everywhere.
yeah. Everybody wants a connection to Cuba.
And the people rolling the cigars either fled from or are descended from those who.
Okay, so basically, what he's saying is that descendants or people who've come from Cuba are coming over here or somewhere else to roll, seed, make sure that the standards are still held to the standard of Cuba. And basically, I'm saying if you're going to hold those standards, you better have
The
more
goods.
than you better
Okay.
have the goods.
So that segues into this story.
Sorry, I was
We
on
were
Lindsay.
in New Orleans 2 weeks ago for her little birthday trip, and we stopped by a couple of cigar joints, and there was this one. So there's like my rotation. When I go to New Orleans,
Yep.
I always want to hit Smoke on the Water and Crescent City Cigar
Smoke on the water.
because
Sorry.
those are the places where it's like not a tourist trap.
And where's the Smoke on the Water?
It's
In the Quarter.
on Conti in the French Quarter.
Got it.
And Crescent City is right off of Bourbon, I believe. And those that like if you're a cigar connoisseur, that's where you're going to want to go. They have their own like Starbucks versions of cigar shops,
Love it.
and I wouldn't go. But anyway, we were walking through the quarter, and I saw one of the Starbucks shops, and it was called like Cigars and Coffee or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'll go and check it out. So I go in there, and it's us and our friends, and they had a decent humor. They didn't have a walk-in, but they had
but they had like several. They were like, here's our high.
Yeah,
here's our
it was
medium,
like
here's our low.
half their store. The wall was the humidor. You just
Okay,
would open up his cabinets, and so we walk in there, and I'm just looking around, and what I see is like off-brand. Everything's off-brand, and so
So it's like instead of being like a Cuban, it's a Cabecin.
No.
or something.
But
It's like no
not-
frills?
no, but like as far as like having the big brands like Liga Privada or God of Fire or Padron or My
Oh, they
Father,
had like off brands of those.
it's off brands of those. It was a whole bunch that I had never even heard of. Okay, because you have
Weird.
the major distributors, the big companies that get like national art, but then you have a lot of little mom and pops that buy tobacco and roll cigars and sell them. I mean, anybody can roll cigars and sell them. And so there
But
is
if you're doing a great job,
there's
you're
this
using the same
amazingly
tobacco.
huge market of these minor league manufacturers, and I get hit up by them. They want me to buy their stuff, and they'll ship it direct from Costa Rica or whatever, and then I can sell it over here. I'm like, dude, I'm not getting into that. First off, I don't know who you are. I don't know if your shit's any good, and so why would I take a chance? But anyway, I did tell this one guy, send me a box of your stuff. You know,
What do you do?
he didn't send it to me.
See, that's how you know it's
He
bullshit.
didn't send it to me. But so I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this doesn't look like a legit store because where's all the real cigars? You know, like I'm not gonna just and everything was at a premium price. So it was a bunch of brands I never heard of. It's like $15 a stick. So it's like, dude, you realize I can go get an Opus X for like 17. Why are you charging 15 for something I never heard of? And it was all like almost a name that was big. So I'm just like,
it has Sony parts
I was
inside.
like,
though.
is this like the Sci-Fi Channel of cigars? Where like,
No, I know those people.
it was at that cigars and coffee place we went to. And so then the owner,
That place.
he like sees me and comes to me and he's like, he says, which one of you is the cigar smoker out of the group of us? And we're like, we all smoke. And he was all like, oh, so he comes up to me and he's like, let me show you my good stuff.
I
I'm
was
like,
so fucking mad about that. I'm like, God, dude, I hate that so badly.
Why? What's up, Lindsay? Talk to us.
I
Talk to
hate
us.
when they're like, okay, so which one of you men is the cigar smoker over here?
he didn't say men. He just said, which one of you?
He was talking to you and Bo.
Okay, I think you're reading too much into that there. But
Yeah. Okay. Gosh, man, you're like
Very sensitive.
That was
it
sensitive
was
right
asked
there.
to all of us, and everybody answered. All of us smoke, but I don't know why he
Alright,
chose
let's
me.
go talk about Ghislaine Maxwell again.
He
Oh
singled,
my god!
he singled me
This
out.
is like cutting your balls off.
I know, right? So he takes me. He takes me to this little humidor, and he's like, "Let me show you this." He's like, "What do you like?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I like a wide variety of stuff, but it's got to be good." And I can't stress that enough, fella. Like it's got to be really
You better
good.
have some nuts on it.
So he starts taking cigars out of his humor. He's like, smell this. Well, this is, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. I felt like I was getting a hard sell from a door-to-door salesman, you know?
Yeah, well, they're
I-
like, listen, I know you like the Hoovers, right? But I got the Scubas. I'm
Yeah.
a scuba you. Come on.
So I've never in all my travels across the country going to cigar shops, I've never had the shopkeep, the proprietor, come up to me and be like, I got this here, smell this, and then like just try to put me on the spot, you know, to buy some stuff. It was very disturbing, you know? And so I'm like,
It's a hard sell,
what brand is, and it was all like Taste of Cuba. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That isn't a Taste of Cuba.
Where's Taste of Cuba come from?
I know. I was like, is that from that Dominican side of Cuba? Is that where you're getting that? And
Listen, this is Little Part in Cuba.
And-
It's right off Cuba Avenue.
and they were all expensive. They were like 17 plus for these sticks
Yeah, well,
from a
they sure
brand
had
that
hard
I've
sell you.
never heard of. So I was like, I'm good, dude. But anyway, that's
And that's the one that you said it's Smoke on the Water?
no, that was cigars and coffee.
Cigars and coffee.
I walked out of there. Then we went to Armando at Crescent City, and like that's the place you go where if you know what's up, you're gonna have a good time. And so I went in there, and Armando was there, and Armando was there when we were there over the summer for something, and I shot the shit with him for a bit. I walk in there, and he fucking recognized me. He was like, "What's up, man?" And
mustache.
and so
I
was like-
mustache.
I was like, "What do you got to show me? Show me your good stuff." So he's like, "Oh, I got the thing for you. You're gonna love this. This is
Oh
good."
my
Let
God,
me-
he's got such a good accent.
Explain to me, Lindsay, like how is this guy in New Orleans have a northern Yankee New Jersey accent? Explain that to
And
me.
be Cuban.
Because he
and
might
be
actually,
Cuban.
because he's from New York.
He's from New York. So that's
while,
why he's
while we
kicking
were
this
there,
accent.
there was a guy who came in from Jersey, and they got
He's Jersey.
and so
Yo,
Armando
hey,
started
yo,
talking shit to me. He's like, "You're a piece of shit." Yeah, because New York.
you something. You're not fist bumping with me right now. Let me tell you something. This ain't happening.
It was funny because like they were really dogging each other pretty hard, but it apparently was just all in good fun.
Dude, hold on. I'm from the up north. All you do is talk shit to your people, and you're like, you know what? This is how we do it. You're just gonna have to deal with it. That's why, look, you guys get in on me, and I'm just like, you think that's getting in on me? Let me tell you something. Go up north, because
Right.
they're gonna get in on you 10 times harder.
I know.
They're busting your balls up there, so
I know
way
how many
busting
guys
your
have been
balls.
on you. I know.
Just saying, like you better have some thick skin. You're coming from the, especially when you're coming. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that wrong. I thought you said, if you're gonna get on me, you better have some foreskin.
Oh man.
But anyway, no. So I asked Armando to show me, his choice stuff because I don't want to just look around his humidor. And so he's like,
Especially when his name is Armando.
he's always like, "Oh, I've got just the thing for you." And so he has these extra boxes of Kurivari stuff that I'd never heard of. He's like, "You're gonna want this and this and this," and I was like, "Okay." So I got one of each of them, and he was telling me, "He's like, this one here, I got 4 boxes."
I got the full boxes.
sold-
I do my hair all day, and all you want to do is touch it.
He was like, I got the 4 boxes. I sold 2 already. I took 1 for myself, and this is the last one. I got 4 sticks left. So you're gonna want some of these.
This is for you.
And so I got it's like, what would you pair with this? He's like, well, you know what pairs with this? Some Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters. I got some
But-
pairs perfectly. It's the
But
Foo
we smoked
Fighters.
some of those that night. Unbelievable sticks. Just absolutely. And I'm not just blowing smoke up Kurivari's ass because they follow me on Twitter now. Pretty proud of myself. What's up?
Dude, let me tell you something. Your Twitter's taking off. I checked it out. Like,
Got
you
what,
got some
96
people-
whole,
Oh, you
90
finally-
whole followers?
You finally checked it out. Huh?
Yeah, I did. I checked it out. I was like,
Yeah, man.
listen, my man is going crazy. I love it.
I'm having a good time.
I like it. I like that they haven't even flagged you yet.
I've only gotten my account locked once.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they haven't.
No, I
really
got it locked
flagged-
once.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
see that.
You want to know what happened? You want to know what horrible thing I said?
What?
All right. So when the Waukesha massacre happened, the media was burying the story. And the way they buried it was they literally covered it like this was an accident. Okay. But it was not an accident. This was an attack. This guy was trying to kill people. And so they said So then they started running interference for the guy, being like, no, this is a non-story. He was fleeing from a knife incident. And so this was just an accident. But then he admitted he did it on purpose and got charged. And so once it was clear it was on an accident, then they changed their coverage to be the horrible Waukesha tragedy that was caused by when an SUV plowed into a parade. They made the whole thing about the SUV. And so
Why is our public not?
they completely
outraged?
de-emphasized what really was the story, which was that this guy he had been radicalized by Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and he had posted a whole bunch of stuff that was very pro-violence against white people, and he had already been he already had numerous charges for like running people over, so it was like put the two together. But anyway, so
Where's the cogs? We need
as-
the cogs.
as the story was coming out, I just said he deserved the death penalty. And that was in violation of Twitter's terms of service, because you cannot advocate violence against people. And I was like, but I was just making a legal statement that his crimes merited the death penalty because that's a capital crime, what he did.
Speaking of which, off air, I want to talk to you about something. I have a great idea.
Oh, Lord.
This is going to be a great idea.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to give our ratings on this thing?
I am totally ready.
All right.
I'm at the wrapper, so that means I need to.
I'm gonna go 90. Even though my
Jesus.
wrapper kind of
Hold on, wait,
exploded,
Lindsay. Hold on.
90. Even though my wrapper kind of exploded, it was good. I really liked the way that the cocoa developed towards the end. I agree with Alex that it had that nice little leathery finish on it. It was rich. It was not super single noted. Construction was good. Smoke was good. I never really had to touch it up, even though I neglected it quite a lot of times. Started right back up. Burn was even. So
89.90.
Yeah.
True. High praise from Lipsticks and Leaves.
Hold on, I'm backing off. Lindsay.
Right.
John's
I'm
like,
about
I'm
to-
gonna go with a 74.
I'm about to shoot her down like a duck hunting.
I'm going to go with a negative pi over 4.
What else is new?
I think it's super one noted. I don't think it deserves a 90 rating. That's for the elite. I think this is definitely an 86. And I think it's perfect for that realm. I think it's with between $11 and $13. This is exactly what you're going to get for $11 and $13, unless you go to the 601. And then I think that
Show me tattoo.
look, it
601
says 601 right here. Right
Is
here.
it this your
Mom.
area code? No, man. It's a cigar. I really
It's a
like.
cigar I like. And I think that's where you should be.
86, huh? All right. Well, you guys have me.
We need to start wrapping it up here. So
Yeah.
it's to leave.
Yeah.
All right. So I agree with Lindsay that the construction was actually very good. I like the feel of it,
Yeah.
the smell of it.
Smoke was good too.
The taste.
The mouth
had a good
taste.
draw.
Smoke. I like the draw. The burn line was good. I never really had to even it out. I don't really even remember having to purge it. Retrohale was good. The second half, I would say, is on the higher end of 80s because I really enjoyed when it warmed up. The first half, though, it was a little meandery, and so I'm going to give it an 85. But to me, an 85 is a good score. I mean, for what this is, 85 is great.
See, I was right.
So there you go, folks. It's a good stick. I think everybody needs to experience it. You know, that way you can taste the rainbow of flavors, really train your palate. You don't want to just get locked into one note because then you don't grow. You don't evolve.
Yep, you don't.
And as you evolve, you know, you really get to experience things that teach you something. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine about Davidoff, and he was saying that he really didn't like Davidoffs. They just didn't do much for him. And I said, you know, I really didn't like him either for the longest time because I felt that they were too tame. They were too mild. And that's characteristic of what the European palate is all about. But as I have tried different things, I've started to appreciate what they're trying to do and what they do it masterfully. And so I actually, you know, I have a Davidoff humidor because there's so many sticks that they make that to me, I don't even need to be talking to anybody. I can just like busy myself deconstructing the smoke and tasting all the things that are in there to taste. And so I love that. So keep trying, keep pushing yourself, and see where the journey goes, man.
Yeah, I think your number's perfect. I think your explanation's more articulate than me, and I think you hit it perfectly.
So stay tuned. We don't know when our next show is going to be because we're going to be in Vegas for the weekend. Hopefully we'll record a little something there. But every time I say that, it ends up not happening because we're too busy partying our brains out. So I'm going to try. But have a happy holidays, everybody. And we'll see you soon. And don't forget to comment. How do you think Dustin's fight's going to go? Who's going to win round and manner of finish. And whoever calls it, I'm going to send the hopefully just one person wins because they're gonna each winner's gonna get one of these bad boys. So
The snort from Lindsay.
and she's snorting.
Lindsay, anything you want to say to your lady leaf lovers?
No, I'm good. Thanks. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, okay. With that being said, I'm John Welsh. I'm the gentleman.
And I'm Alex Stafford, and I'm the scholar. And from the merchant, keep it smoky.
Always.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I just read a funny meme.
What?
I just read a funny meme.